Welcome to Towards 2015, the program to broaden your business perspective in the ASEAN market, which consists of over 600 million consumers. Thailand's big banks are well prepared for investors' expansion in the ASEAN market by providing additional financial services to satisfy customers' demand. Let's observe Kasikorn Bank's management, which spreads throughout the region, and what trading opportunities await.
ครับสวัสดีครับคุณทรงพลชีวปัญญาโรจน์ Executive Vice President of Kasikorn Bank. Welcome to the program.
ครับสวัสดีครับ
So how are you today คุณทรงพล
Very good ครับ
So first question is what is Kasikorn Bank business strategy for ASEAN markets and especially in view of the ASEAN economic community which will be effective in 2015?
Basically when we look at the ASEAN, if you think in a bigger picture,
yes.
We look at actually not only ASEAN but also Asia.
Yes.
Based on the trade partner between Thailand to US, Europe,
yes.
Asia, and ASEAN, we have observed and the change of the trade partner, the volume trade between Thailand versus USA and Thailand versus the Europe. Number of percentage has been changed towards Asia ex-Japan. For example, Asia ex-Japan nowadays, we look at about 40%, not less than 40%. Asia, including Japan, is actually more than 50% already. So if we look at the US and Europe, we in the next few years, I would say that there would be a lot change from Europe and the US to Asia. So for the ASEAN itself, if we look at the ASEAN, they compose with the 6 countries, plus the 4 new countries, the CLMV.
Yes.
The trade of Thailand between Asia versus Thailand versus the ASEAN country, the portion of ASEAN is still not as large.
You mean intra-ASEAN?
Intra-ASEAN.
Still not much.
Still not much and not growing as much versus Asia. One of the reasons is in ASEAN, the products that produce in each country in ASEAN is they're quite the same. For example, Thailand versus Vietnam and Indonesia, you see a lot of agriculture, industrial agriculture, and as well the automotive in this area. So I think if we look at how we prepare for ASEAN, I would say that we have to look at the ASEAN plus 3, plus Japan, China, and Korea,
yes.
And also potentially also including India, and as well as the Russia in the picture as well.
Can you explain Kasikorn Bank ASEAN Alliance business model? How you prepare yourself to serve customers in Thailand?
Basically, when we look at the banking industry,
yes.
There are 3 types of banks in the world. One is we call it mega bank. Mega bank means
very big one.
Very big and has many branches in many countries.
Yes.
For example, banks that has more than 50 countries that they have branch.
Yes.
Second is regional banks, are the bank that has branches in many countries in that region.
Yes.
And also the third one would be the local bank. For us, we consider ourselves as local bank.
Yes.
However, as a local bank in each country has their own strength. For example, we have our branch network, we have a product and services that we ensure that we have enough people to serve and also good quality of product services. In each country, they also have the strong local banks. For example, in China, in Indonesia, in Thailand, in Japan. So what we believe is, for example, if we are going to support our customers' need, customer who wants to expand in the future, they need basically 3 things.
Yes.
Capital, business operations, and also trade partner. For banks in each country, they have to serve these 3. Otherwise, the customer would not be able to survive. Or if there is any bank that can do these things better, customer would use the service through these 3 from those banks. So for ourselves, we try to ensure that we deliver this to our customer. And we ask if our customer expanding to overseas, they should require the same things. We started 4 years ago when we have started our model with Japanese regional banks.
Japan.
We start with Japan.
How many now? Your partners bank?
17.
17.
We have signed MOU with 17 Japanese regional banks.
Yes.
And also we
Covering how many? What prefectures in Japan? 17 prefectures.
The model is we sign one bank per one prefecture. So we cover 17 prefecture, and we target to sign up to 24 banks in 24 prefecture. So which should be able to cover customers in most of the region in Japan, Kyushu, Central Japan, West and East Japan.
And besides Japan, what's the other ASEAN partners?
We have signed MOU with Korea.
Korea also.
We signed MOU with 2 banks in Korea. We have signed MOU with Vietnam. We signed one with Viettin Bank, and we are planning to sign another 3 in the next few months. Also Indonesia, Singapore, and next would be Malaysia. So basically, we have collaborate with Japan, Indonesia, Vietnam, Singapore,
Korea.
and Korea.
Yeah. What about China? Different model?
China, we do slightly different model.
Yes.
In China, there are 172 banks in China.
Yes.
The basic model is the correspondence banking model. We have correspondence with 120 banks in China. Another thing that we do slightly more is we also have our branch in China, and we partner with China Mingchen banks to provide banking services and loans to Chinese SME. They lend 50, we lend 50. So I would say this model, because China is huge, and also the business needs from China they need more effort. So we do slightly more than normal.
Yeah. Who are your target customer in China and the ASEAN market?
I would say the people or the companies in ASEAN and the company in Asia.
Yes.
Because in the past we said this is Thai company, this is Korean company, this is Japanese company. But the globalization is, I think you have heard about globalization in the past 10 years. But today I believe that the globalization is real now. So the company, the customers would not belong to any country, but they would belong to the ASEAN or the Asian community.
I see. And which businesses in Thailand have a good prospect to expand into ASEAN and China, in your opinion?
In Thailand, we have set up quite a number of industry that we do a very strong foundation building.
Yes.
For example, the automobile, industrial agriculture, construction material,
Yes.
Services and logistics. So basically, this would be the major industry that we believe that we can expand and utilize our knowledge that we built as a foundation to country in ASEAN and also in Asia.
So China is still the number one, and followed by other ASEAN countries, in your opinion, the destination?
Depends. When we look at the ASEAN or Asia, there would be a couple of things that are relating to those. For example, investment and trade partner.
Yes.
If we look at the trade partner, China would be the big trade partner, even though Thailand still import more from China than export to China. But the consumer in China nowadays, the way they consume, they change the way they consume. The product has to be good. The pricing is something that they don't look at the first, they don't mind. However, if we look at the other part of the Asia country, like Japan, Korea, they also a big consuming market as well, and also Indonesia. Indonesia has more than 200 million people who live in Indonesia. So I would say that if we look into this, there are two parts: investment or trade partner.